after becoming the king of late night, Greg Gutfeld finally decided to take a day off. So he asked the second funniest person at Fox to fill in for him. But Kilmeade said he wasn't available, so you're stuck with me. My deepest condolences go out to you, the audience. You thought you were getting Gutfeld. Instead, you're getting someone taller, better looking, and someone who didn't get fired from a ton of magazines. You got Waters instead. This is like... It's like buying tickets to see Jerry Seinfeld and Carrot Top takes the stage. Now, I'd give you your money back, but I found out Gutfeld doesn't charge anybody to come see the show, which makes sense. But there's a silver lining. Unlike a normal show, none of tonight's jokes will go over your head. That I promise you. It's me. And it's an honor to step into Greg's shoes today, even though it kind of hurts because he's a size 6. Now, our sources think Greg took off today because he's transitioning. To what exactly? Unclear. But a new symbol has been added to the acronym LGBTQ. It's now LGBTQ exclamation. Greg's probably at a gender reveal party tonight. His own. All kidding aside, the real reason Greg isn't here today is because it's his birthday. Besides 30-year-old women and anyone in the Biden administration during a crisis, who takes off on their birthday? Greg does, apparently. Yet, much like Sleepy Joe, Greg's changed his position. We'd like to wish our executive producer, Megan Albano, a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
I'm the one that delivered that news because I am her favorite host. So.
Is that, wait a minute, is that why she's not here today? Did she take today off because it's her birthday? You know how I feel about that.
So, besides flip-flopping, Greg and Joe Biden have so much in common. Their love for Hunter, their advanced age. Actually, Biden looks a little younger than Greg in that. And, of course, the thing they have most in common, hair plugs. Would someone secure about their hair obsess over someone else's hair this much?
Jesse Waters has saved thousands of lives just by the amount of hairspray he uses every day. Maybe that's how he saved the world. His hair is like an extension cord, thick, dark, and full of plugs. Congrats on the book. It's going to buy you a lot of hair gel. Or Jesse Waters condemning hair gel. Jesse's hair, enough product to keep Jesse Waters' hair standing on end for eternity.
So, just like Joe, Greg called a lid today. And I want to be as respectful to Greg as possible while I sit in his chair. Wait. What is this? Oh, just stack of papers. What's this stack of papers doing here? But I really wanted to pay homage to Greg tonight. I even wanted to dress like him, so I peeked in his closet just to get a little inspiration. Filling in for Gutfeld tonight. Got to dress the part. Let's see what he's got in his closet. Pretty nice. Dark pants, slim fit. I'm almost there. Blue blazer, white shirt. I just got to get the black tie. Oh, these are perfect. Nailed it.
This segment was brought to you by Baby Gap.
They say imitation is the highest form of flattery. I'm trying to look and act as much like Greg as possible. So, after the show, I'm going to go drink wine alone. And text Dana. I also searched his desk to find some of his famous notes to use on the show. But they were all love letters to Kat. Kat, seriously, contact HR immediately. This guy is sick.
I wrote those about myself.
Okay.
Trying to work on my self-esteem.
Did you guys hear? He just interviewed Donald Trump. Way to go, Gutfeld. Quite the achievement. You are the last Fox host to interview Trump. In fact, Greg might be the last host in America to interview Donald Trump. Greg didn't even like Trump when he was running for president. And then I remembered that Greg didn't even like me before I started hosting The Five. Just another thing he has in common with Biden. Terrible instincts. Greg didn't think the coronavirus was going to be that big of a deal. Actually, that was me. Speaking of comedy, not everything is funny, Gutfeld. Know your audience. Your cackle kind of reminds me of Kamala.
I don't think it really turned out that way. This show's
in that vase so hard.
Yes.
It'd be a good idea. And you're like, So I've heard.
Greg, this is really weird. Okay, so let's move on. Let's start with the positives. Okay. Really interesting question, out of the box idea.
I want to talk about Simon & Schuster first. We're going to keep...
Yes, it's on assignment.
Read the room, dude. Covering up your insecurities with comedy is what stand-up comedians do. That's not you. You know, you don't do stand-up because you have something that stand-up comedians don't have. Notes and a teleprompter. So happy birthday, Greg. I know you're watching because you have nothing else to do. And I was as mean as possible just so you'll never ask me to host again.
Happy Friday, my fellow Funky Friday folks. What a crazy week. It's like one of Hemmer's hot tub parties. Bad things are happening, but it's okay because we're all in this together. First, last night's town hall. What did we get from Joe? An incoherent jumble of memories and confused looks. But the best impersonation of Beavis and Butthead's cornholio in history. What the hell was that? But there was more.
40% of all products coming into the United States of America on the West Coast go through Los Angeles and what am I doing here?
Is it Long Beach?
Long Beach, thank you.
Do you have plans to visit the southern border?
I've been there before, and I haven't. I mean, I know it well. I guess I should go down. But what you see is wages are actually up. Freedom. I have the freedom to kill you. My guess is you'll start to see gas prices come down as we get by and going into the winter, into next year in 2022. I must tell you, I don't have a near-term answer.
Mr. President.
By the way, there's two famous guys in this audience here.
Maybe they were Beavis and Butthead. Well, that was the opposite of comforting. It seems his only strategy is to deflect from our current misery to promising more misery. Well, that and fake stories about trains.
A lot of the folks in Amtrak became my family, not a joke. Angelo Negri was from, you remember Ange? Ange came up to me one day when they just had announced that I had flown 1 million some X number of miles on Air Force aircraft. And Ange comes up, and I'm getting in the car, and he goes, "Joey, baby, what are you?" And I thought the Secret Service was going to shoot him. I said, no, he's good, he's good. It's a true story.
True story. Rambling about trains from a human train wreck.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. I am Brian Kilmeade. As you can see, I'm sitting in a normal chair, not one of the small ones, custom crafted to fit Greg's abnormally childlike frame. I'm a full-grown adult. We also had the stage crew remove the sippy cup because I don't spill, unlike the normal host who's not anything but normal. And most people don't know this, but I'm actually thrilled to be here. My whole life, I love late night TV. You guys remember late night TV when it was great? Steve Allen, Johnny Carson, Jay Leno. That's what we grew up watching. For example, when I was an intern across the street at 30 Rock, I interviewed David Letterman before he had his beard and when he used to be funny. I gave him that T-shirt, so for me to be here on the #1 late night show is truly an honor, and I'm honored to be with the panel you have yet to meet. A lot of people don't know that, but David Letterman just opened up to his biographer, and he quoted, if I can just quote him exactly, if we can roll back the prompter, he said, that was the moment and the one highlight of my career I will never forget, close quote. I made that up, and I could be sued. But it's no secret, I co-host Fox and Friends, the #1 morning show in all of cable news. And because of that, I gotta confess, I don't really watch this show. In fact, I did not even know Greg was full-time and had a show of his own. Gutfeld is on when I am fast asleep. I don't wake up until like 2:30, and I understand Greg talks about me a lot. I don't know exactly what he says, but I have a few clips if we can watch together.
So never let a crisis go to waste. A phrase coined by Kilmeade's barber. His male pattern baldness is in the shape of Belarus. Like Brian Kilmeade's fleas, that's a head scratcher. Like Kilmeade's doll collection, does make me sad. It's like when Kilmeade enters a crowded elevator. They treat him like he's got monkeypox. It's likely someone no one can stand. I'd call them creeps, but why offend Brian Kilmeade? This is good news for lazy, incompetent workers. If you're gonna force employees to wear patches, just make sure it's for a cause that everyone can support.
That wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. Well, that hurt more than when Greg reached up and hit me in the shin one time when I got married. But I can take it. I'm a big boy, unlike him. And it's an honor to be the first non-cast member to guest host this week, because Kat and Tyrus were unbelievable Monday and Tuesday. I am told, according to reports, I am told I was on the top of the list, and obviously that's true. And we even got some behind-the-scenes footage of the selection process, so this is kind of cool. Let's watch.
Listen, guys, it's Wednesday afternoon. We still don't have a guest host for tonight. Anything?
I'm sorry. I thought Brian Stelter couldn't say no.
Well, look, whoever we get, remember what Greg always says, you got to treat him with dignity and respect. I know. Look, I thought of some other names here. Martha McCallum.
Dentist appointment.
Bill Hemmer.
Dog's dentist appointment.
Maybe we need to think outside the box, like, I don't know, like a Chris Cuomo. Nah. You know, Greg has that emergency guest host envelope. I just can never remember where he keeps it.
Probably somewhere no one would ever look. Oh, wait a minute. I know someone who's definitely available. Hey, Brian! What do you think about hosting this show today? Yes, you are our first choice.
I found Greg's envelope.
Anyone but Kilmeade.
Well, hey, at least we have the judge tonight, right?
Good thing I had high self-esteem before the show. Too late, you're stuck with me, so let's do this thing. Let's talk about the big story of the day, which is cash for votes, which is only slightly less annoying than cars for kids.
1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids.
Give your car away.
Sorry about that. It's going to be in your head the rest of the day. But it also seems unethical to me, although what do you expect from the President of the United States?
But I get it. I once did an ad for Cars for Kids. I played the drums. They threw me out of the band for drugs. What do they know about fun? Happy Thursday, everyone. But it's really not that happy. First of all, we have some sad news for this show. Brian Stelter is leaving CNN. I know. Yeah, apparently he wants to spend more time with his food. I kid, the poppin' fresh king. I'm gonna miss him. How much? Well, this much. And the press were so quiet. On CNN, you could hear Stelter's stomach growling. I can't control myself. Just like Brian Stelter at Krispy Kreme. Like Brian Stelter trapped in a Frito-Lay warehouse. They eat everything from the inside. Like butter at Brian Stelter's dinner table, it's spreading everywhere. No heartfelt birthday wishes from CNN's chubby, grubby Teletubby. CNN's roly-poly gossip goalie. But anyone who thinks that boobs are more common in women than in men clearly have never seen Brian Stelter jogging. That worked out about as well as Brian Stelter's personal trainer. But hey, let's cut Brian some slack. He's got a lot on his plate right now. What the hell am I gonna do now? First Chris Cuomo, then Jeffrey Toobin, and now Stelter. I'm running out of material. If CNN fires Don Lemon, I might actually have to work for a living. So what's Stelter gonna do next? Well, he could come work here. Our on-camera chemistry was undeniable.
Brian, I like to play a little game where I just stay in my apartment and I don't pick up the phone and just see if anybody will come and check on me. Have you ever thought about doing that?
And no one pays the rent. I mean, the landlord came after 7 years to evict him.
That really happened, right? You guys saw that too. I wasn't just dreaming that. Wow. All right. Moving on to the monologue. They suck and we don't. That should be our new slogan. Let's compare. Here's CNN.
If you're not going to get vaccinated, you don't want to social distance, you don't want to wear a mask, then maybe you don't want to go to the hospital when you get sick.
You know, you are one of the reasons people can't stand the media. I'm sorry.
You're cracking me up.
Oh, the crunch.
Do I have a wing hanging out of my mouth?
Republicans are doing something that is very dangerous to our society.
Crime is rising as they defund police.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. And again, defunding police. It's like, if you watch a certain state TV and you listen to conservative media, you would think that, you know, entire cities are just, you know, embroiled in fights and fires and whatever. We went out and had a great dinner in New York City tonight. People actually walked up to us and said, thank you I watch you every night.
Classic. That's CNN, but here's Fox. Yeah. But here's MSNBC.
When a petulant and not so bright billionaire casually bought one of the world's most influential messaging machines and just handed it to the far right.
Education, which is code for white parents don't like the idea of teaching about race.
The real ominous thing is that critical race theory, which isn't real, turned the suburbs 15 points to the Trump insurrection-endorsed Republican.
We are essentially slaves to a document that was written, more than 230 years ago by a tiny group of white slave-owning men.
Oh, so that's MSNBC. Again, here's Fox.